Today is Friday. This is Hank Williams Jr.'s day. This is an album from 2009. What do we know about this album, Gregory?
It's called 127 Rose Avenue. I like that because my mom and my sister are both named Rose. So it resonates with me. This was Hank's 51st album. Um, this was released in 2009, as you said, on Curb Records. This was his last for that label. If anyone's familiar with the song Red, White, and Pink Slip Blues, that comes from this. That was a advanced single. But the title, 127 Rose Avenue, is a reference to the boyhood home of Hank Williams Sr. in Georgiana, Alabama. One of the co-writers, Bud McGuire, was inspired after a visit to the home, and the actual address is 127 Rose Street. So this album debuted at number 7 on the Billboard Country Chart. So I think we said, what was it? Hank's got 56 albums, and 52 of them were...
51 or 52, well, at least gold, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 52.
Yeah. This was sent to us by the man, the myth, the legend, Gary Goodman. Gary's a good man who always delivers the goods.
Gary's a good man. Sorry. All right, so Gary made me a bet or a wager in some sort, that if I didn't like this song, that he would walk to North Carolina. I ain't gonna tell you where he lives, but it's a good walk. I'll say that. He lives in Hank country. How about that?
That is a long walk.
And anybody that don't like Hank Williams. All right, let's get to it.
He lived right across the street. It was on the news for the world to see. They caught him with his hands on a neighbor's child. Now he swore he'd never done it before, and he cried before the judge in court. So they sent him away for just a little while. Morning found him in his cell. Somebody sent him straight to hell. Begging for mercy down on his knees. Sounds like justice to me. Go on, do your dirty work in your tailored suit and your clean white shirt. You don't care who you hurt. Dealers selling demon lies that hide inside a little glass pipe. So you don't care who dies. This can't go on, I gotta believe. Hey, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze.
All right, so Gary Goodman, you're not going to have to walk to North Carolina, bud. Yeah, man, child abuse is a huge thing. And, yeah, this reminds me of when he took a trip to the Mary Carter paint store. I got right. So, yeah. I love it so far, man. I mean, I think I put this as just a backdrop, which are all the bullet holes, but I think this is kind of fitting for the song. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of meanings you could take from that. This, I've Got Rights was the first thing that I thought of, too. This almost feels like a brother song to it. Hank's just got one of those great voices for storytelling. And for something like this, he's just sort of got that quiet authority in his voice, which sometimes he can transition into a very loud authority when he wants to. I did like on Die, I said, you don't care who dies or something like that. He did almost like a Hank Williams yodel, which is in his DNA. I'm sure he can pull that out at will. I do know for a fact that child predators tend not to last very long in prison because a lot of those people were victimized in that way. So, yeah, you don't have to. I don't like reduced sentences. I think the sentence should be as harsh as possible because I think that's as vile a crime as they come. But they don't have to be in there very long for bad stuff to happen to them. And I'm pretty much in Hank's Hank's wheelhouse here. I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah. Predators become the prey
Mm-hmm.
behind those walls. Um, yeah, I love when you brought the intensity there. I brought that voice up. Yeah, and the Hank Williams yodel is in his DNA, obviously. Last song we done of Hank was his collab with Post Malone,
Mm-hmm.
and I said then it's funny how a rock and roll or another genre person comes to make a country album with the man here who's biggest country boy in the world but has never really sang country music. And I say that in the most respectful way.
Hank's as rock and roll as they get.
He's a rock and roll singer
Yeah.
that sings country music once in a while. So yeah, or at least southern rock, whatever you want to say.
Axl Rose wishes he rocked as hard as Hank Williams Jr.
Well, there's a story about that. The security guard said that they had a Guns N' Roses show and a Hank Williams show in the same venue one night apart, and that the Hank show was much rowdier than the Guns N' Roses show in '88 when Appetite for Destruction was at its height.
Big GNR, yeah. But I don't doubt that for a second.
Yeah.
I don't think Axl was shooting rifles on stage. You know what I'm saying?
No. Ernest Tubb, I got on the wall over there. I need to put him back here. Shot up in the studio. So. And the little glass pipe, I heard that. That's got to be a meth reference or a crack. Whatever you're smoking in a little glass pipe ain't good. So, I know marijuana pipes are glass. I don't think that's what he's talking about. I don't think Hank's ever really been into drugs, but I like my weed. I don't think Hank's got a big problem with that. God made it. So, anyway, let's get back to the song.
Oh, yeah.
He lived right across the street. It was on the news for the world to see. They caught him with his hands on a neighbor's child. Now he swore he'd never done it before, and he cried before the judge in court. So they sent him away for just a little while. Morning found him in his cell. Somebody sent him straight to hell. Begging for mercy down on his knees. Sounds like justice to me. Go on, do your dirty work in your tailored suit and your clean white shirt. You don't care who you hurt. Dealers selling demon lies that hide inside a little glass pipe. So you don't care who dies. This can't go on, I gotta believe. Hey, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze. And it sounds like justice to me.
All right, so sorry to stop it again, but that time I heard Hank talking about the do your dirty work in your suit and tie. Basically, I forget what the exact lyrics are. I knew Hank had great diction, and I didn't want the reaction to take forever because I knew I was going to talk a lot about Hank. So anyway, I think that's the politicians and the lawyers, or maybe just the lawyers, but they try to get these, just like if South would have won, put all them pushers in the slammers and put Florida on the right track because we'll take Miami back and put all the pushers in the slammers. And the I've got rights is about, hiding behind your systems and they're there to protect you till you're on your knees begging for your life. So, yeah, it's almost like I've got rights part two. So, I love it. I love that analogy you gave too. So.
I think the moral of the story is don't fuck with Hank Williams Jr.
Never, and Americans, yeah, maybe. They always called on Hank till he gave it the wrong analogy, and he even showed up on all those shows and gave them dictionaries and said, "Will you look up analogy, please?"
Yeah, didn't know what they were dealing with.
So, but my point is, from football to when the towers fell and America Can Survive, Hank has always been an ambassador for the USA and never downed any other country, where a lot of ambassadors for USA will, where Hank hasn't.
No,
And,
he's
he'll
pro
talk
America,
shit
not
about
anti
another
anything
leader that's a damn dictator, you know, like take that poison gas and stick it in your sassafras. That's a good song in itself. But yeah, I love it. Let's get back to it. Sorry.
Mom and Pop had a corner store. It had been there 30 years or more. And they've been robbed about 100 times. Pop walked in like he owned the place, said, "Give up the money," as he slapped his face. He didn't know Pops had a 45. They found him face down on the floor. Dude never made it to the door. Pop said, "I learned in the army how to point and squeeze, and it sounds like justice to me. Go on, do your dirty work in your tailored suit and your clean white shirt. You don't care who you hurt. Dealer selling demon lies and hide inside a little glass pipe. So you don't care who dies. It's gonna catch up to you, buddy. I gotta believe." Hey, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze. Sounds like justice to me.
Nah, before we hear that, give some the hair apart or whatever. Mom and pop store, so I feel like this is a callback to the Country Boy Can't Survive. My friend was shot with a 45, or was shot with killed with a switchblade knife for $43. My friend lost his life. I'd like to sit some beach stunt in that dude's eyes, shoot him with my old 45. Well, maybe that's the one that his grandpa or whatever passed down to him in the store.
Yeah. Proverbially.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just a mouthful. So this was released in 2009, correct? Give or take?
Yeah.
This album? Okay, so that was over a decade ago, really 15 years ago. It does feel like it was written for today, because I read so much stuff about people defending themselves or trying to defend others or defending like their business, and they're the ones that end up getting arrested. And that just, the law should not be there to protect the people that don't give a shit about it. I'm sorry. If you're, and I say this as a guy who's had a gun shoved in his face twice while working at a restaurant, you don't know what these people are going to do. You don't know if they're just scared and they need money for drugs or whatever, or if they're going to shoot you just out of nervousness, or if they're psychotic and don't give a shit. So if you have the means to defend yourself, like, you really don't have a chance to think, well, like the guy's holding a gun, you can't really give him the benefit of the doubt. It's them or you. So yeah, I respect everyone's right to defend what's theirs. Like, if you come at my family, yeah, that's, you're pretty much giving up your right to live. So, and said that's.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, being as this is talking about him learning how to squeeze that trigger while he was, in the forces for the government.
Mm-hmm.
I have a buddy who's done 2 tours in Iraq and is a great guy over there now, and they won't let him have an automatic rifle. So they'd put him in jail if he made his rifle automatic. So you'll give it to them overseas, but you won't let them have it here if shit breaks out for them to defend themselves. That makes no sense to me.
They'll give you a weapon to shoot some people that you've never even seen before, but God forbid you use that to defend your family or your friends or your loved ones.
Yeah, a neighbor or something called, so he's over there making these rifles, you can make them fully automatic.
Yeah.
But that's what they hand you when you're 18 years old to go kill people with. So
Yeah,
anyway, I
that's
just thought
oh
I
my
would throw
god,
that in there.
that's mind-boggling. Yeah. So yeah, it's
And,
this stuff. The song is still pertinent. You know, it still resonates.
and I paid my due 8 years ago, almost to the day now. Since I was out of jail, I've never done a violent crime in my life, but because I was a felon, I can't have a gun. So, good old USA that I live in. I wrote a song about that, by the way. I will put it in the end screen because I channel my inner Hank.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Hank would be proud of it, honestly.
All right, let's finish her out.
To the door. Pop said I learned in the army how to point and squeeze, and it sounds like justice to me. Go on, do your dirty work in your tailored suit and your clean white shirt. You don't care who you hurt. Dealer selling demon lies and hide inside a little glass pipe. So you don't care who dies. It's gonna catch up to you, buddy. I gotta believe. Hey, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze. Sounds like justice to me. Listen up, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze. Sounds like justice to me. Sounds like justice to me.
You two makes me stop a lot. So this is a good time to say, what a range Hank Jr. has. Hell with everything he sings about and how many instruments he can play. Not hell with it. But put that aside, the vocal talent the man has is so underrated that it's friggin' pathetic. Because he can hit low notes that, like there's a voice play group that the charismatic voice Elizabeth listens to a lot, where they do everything from soundtracks to movies, and one guy's like, well, they did a thing with the Oak Ridge Boys, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
And I think the dude from the Oak Ridge Boys actually got a little under him, but my point is Hank can just about hit that register.
Yeah.
And like in Houses of the House of the Rising Sun, that Zeppelin, and I'm excited, I guess. And here, I mean, Country Boy Can't Survive, the last note. Toby Keith, rest his soul, in the tribute to Hank in 2018, didn't even try to hit that note. That note is really hard to hit. That is a hell of a note. Bruce Dickinson and Maynard and all the metal would have a hard time hitting that sustained note at the end of Country Boy Can't Survive. And I just wanted to give a shout out to Hank's vocals. And I'm pretty sure he's a senior citizen when he made this album, so or close to it. So yeah.
I just wanted to say. No, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
When I heard that solo, my first thoughts were, "Thank God he's a guitar man." But then, like, he's a vocal man too, because Hank's got that sort of deep, very powerful, manly, voice that's it's got so much personality and so much weight to it. And then you forget, like, he'll go way up there and hit those notes, and it boggles my mind every time, because he doesn't do it frequently. He just does it, when it's needed. And every time it happens, I'm like, whoa, damn. Because that is, between that and, like, he hit that, then he started going, like, really low. That's probably at least 4 octaves he's covering. I don't have the, musical ear, but he's covering a lot of musical space with his range. Yeah, really, really impressive.
And, people talk about rock and roll albums a lot and the imagery and such, and I don't ever really hear that with country, and it's probably a fair assessment. But if you look at this cover, there's a lot here going on, actually. First of all, it's out in the country. It's you got the big Cadillac like Elvis had a pink one like that, I'm pretty sure, and Bruce Springsteen made a song about pink Cadillac, and this one is black, but Hank's completely dressed in white, which even the pearl white guitar, which is the blue jeans are literally a lighter color. This is not your typical wardrobe for Hank. The letters are in white with a dark black outline. The Cadillac's black. So basically, he's singing a lot of songs about what is good and what is bad. Or I don't know. So far, that's what I hear in this album.
Yeah.
I know there's a knock on the door. Just wait a minute. And so everything's not as black and white as it may seem, or that's good and bad, or light and dark, or there's a lot of powerful imagery right there in just that scene. Plus, his daddy died in a Cadillac, if I'm not mistaken.
Also, you sort of have this down home feel with the countryside there. You have the cloudy skies that sort of suggest a storm is coming. You have the Cadillac, which suggests success and prosperity. And Hank, for all intents and purposes, with the hat and the long coat that he's got, sort of looks like a gunslinger, but he's wearing white, and instead of a gun, he's got that white guitar. So yeah, there's a lot of symbolism in this picture. It's a really well done album cover.
All right, let's finish her out.
Hey, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze. Sounds like justice to me. Listen up, that's Gabriel's horn blowing on the breeze. Sounds like justice to me. Sounds like justice to me. You keep messing around, you're gonna meet the wrong dude in town. Sounds like justice. You reap what you sow. Sounds like justice, justice. Sounds like justice to me. Sounds like justice. Sounds like justice, justice.
I love the backup singers. I would
Really
be
cool touch
willing
towards the
to
end there.
bet-
Yeah,
I'll be willing to bet those are some soul sisters. I would almost bet.
thinking the same thing.
All right, glad you guys sit through this with us. What the hell happened? Oh,
There he is, the king on his throne.
yeah. He every now and then he'll sit down in concert, but he still usually stands up with that one strap on that one damn shoulder. He's always done. It looks so uncomfortable, but he just wants to throw it off and grab other instruments,
Yeah.
Man, we wouldn't have been doing this so long. There was some. We'll go to the If the South Would Have Won video, and you'll see that I just commented on it, and there's some great comments on that video. Gentleman talking about his father had passed away and stuff, and that was just 7 days ago. So there's still people actively listening to these songs all the time. I love that. I have been in the comment section of YouTube since YouTube was YouTube. That's the best place to find things out. And let's see, Gary Goodman, you're not allowed in this competition. Can anyone tell me how many times, because I don't know myself, Hank Williams Jr. references Elmer Fudd or does the impression? How many songs? I mean, I know there's a bunch of them, so, and they usually have something to do with America. So, yeah. All I can say is, I love you, Hank. Keep being you, man. That's all you gotta do.
Hank is the definition of a national treasure.
Icon. That's literally what
Okay.
every chat room, that's why he's been dubbed by the people.
Yeah. He's earned
And
it.
I've seen more comments than any other singer on the face of the earth in the comments of their videos, Hank for president. And I second that notion.
But both the sad and the great thing about that is Hank is smart enough not to take that job.
Probably is, yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that. All right, much love, everybody. Listen to more Hank.
Indeed. Take care of yourselves. You can take care of others.
From that to that. The Ragged Old Flag. Johnny Cash, tell you about it. Much love.